Promo code Amy.
Welcome back. You're listening to Get Down to Business, the show all about small business jobs and entrepreneurship. What a great conversation with the CEO of Alverno Laboratories. And now, as promised, I'm thrilled to be joined by Lee Eisenstaedt, who is the author of a brand new book, Leading with Courage. Lee, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Shalom. So glad to be here.
It's great to have you. So we will talk about the book, but as I always love to do, would love to get to know you and understand a little bit about why you wrote the book and why you have established the Leading with Courage Academy. Lee, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I grew up in the Chicago area, worked at Baxter, was my first job out of college or grad school, and then moved up to Wisconsin where I was with SC Johnson. They make Windex and Pledge and those kinds of products. And I was there for about 25 years as a finance and operations executive, both in the U.S. and Europe. And then I was COO at two very large accounting firms. One was a top 5 firm, and the other was a top 50 firm. And it was based on all of those experiences and seeing how understanding your blind spots can really open up new opportunities for you. If you become aware of your blind spots and have the courage to address them from a leadership or a management point of view, it makes a huge difference in where you go. In my own case, once I became aware of a significant blind spot I had, which was being not comfortable talking about myself, and that's typical of a finance exec, I was able to get a 5-year assignment in Paris, France as a director of finance for half a dozen countries.
That's
so it
exciting.
really does make a difference.
It's exciting when you identify those 9. I don't want to get ahead of you, but you've in your book you talk about the 9 blind spots that can derail the impact of leaders and managers, and no doubt it was because of that learning experience that you went through on your own. So, Lee, you wrote the book, which is an Amazon bestseller. It's called Leading with Courage, 9 Critical Behaviors of Effective Leaders and Managers. So you took your own experience, your own story, and you've decided to make sure others learn from it and do better. I don't want to share the secret sauce, but Lee, tell us a little bit about some of the challenges that you address in the book.
Well, just one correction. It wasn't just my experiences. I went out and interviewed 40 CEOs who had all been in their jobs for more than 2 years, because 40 to 50% of CEOs and other C-suite execs are fired, quit, or fail in the first 18 months on the job. And I wanted to understand why that was happening. And it was between my experiences and the experience of these 40 CEOs that I was able to put together the list of 9 blind spots. And if you're not careful, you run into these, and depending on how badly you step on that landmine, and if you step on multiples, it can totally derail your career. An example of one of them is not respecting the culture of the organization. So imagine you're a new person, you come into an organization for the first time, and you're running rampant, just amok like a bull in a china shop. You aren't going to last very long. Same if you just come in with the answer and say, this is how you guys do it, but this is how we did it. You're not going to win many friends. And so there are 9 of those blind spots that, if you're not careful, they can certainly impact your agenda and could derail your career. And so the book goes through that. There's even a self-assessment in the book that you can take to identify which of those blind spots you need to be on the alert for.
Absolutely, and everybody struggles with one of those areas. So, Lee, you talked a little bit about your own your blind spot, talking about yourself. Obviously, you've overcome that. You're joining me here on the radio, which is fantastic. But you've also established the Leading with Courage Academy. Tell us a little bit about who goes through that academy.
Yeah, it's individuals and teams. That's who we focus on. And what we're doing is helping them gain peace of mind and confidence that they're being effective as leaders and managers. So we have a series of workshops, assessments, and coaching programs that they can take to become more self-aware of those blind spots. And then when they want help addressing them, we're there to help them. We've got 14 executive coaches in addition to myself. So we have quite a lot of resources that we can put to this. We license a number of assessments such as DISC and emotional intelligence and employee engagement that give you just all of these insights. Well,
Absolutely.
what's really interesting, and I'll turn it back over to you, Shalom, because I know you got a lot of questions. 95% of us think we're self-aware, but the real number is only 12 to 15%. And that's the opportunity out there.
Absolutely. There certainly is an opportunity out there. And so, Lee, you are Chicago-based. The Leading with Courage Academy is Chicago-based. But do you work with executives in which geographic areas?
We work all over the country, Shalom. It doesn't, we're not limited by geography. And while it's much more effective doing it, coaching face-to-face, we can even do it over the phone. But it usually begins with a group going through a program as a team, and then they break off into smaller groups that need, just a little bit more attention or have some special issues that we can address better one-on-one. So we do it either in groups or face-to-face or over the phone.
Certainly. And tell us a little bit about some of the success stories, companies or organizations that have gone through the program, that have worked with you or one of your other coaches, and how it has helped their culture and helped their leadership, because ultimately that's what it's all about.
Yeah, what we've got as a tool, we're one of the few, I think, sort of consultants that can actually measure everything we're doing in the area of leadership development. So we like to track the changes in employee engagement, and we measure that every 90 days, and you can tell then what's going on. Everything you're doing in leadership development is to help the employees be more engaged, present, focused, energized. And so we track it when we start, and then every 90 days thereafter. And it's been a great example of it was in a company that had just done a merger, and they brought two companies, another company of like size, together with them. And we were able to measure the employee engagement of the acquired company and the acquiring company. And over time, we could get those two companies to have the same level of engagement. Of course, one's going to be lower than the other, usually the acquired company. We get them to the same level and then take them up, from there together. Because we can see where it's going well, where it isn't going well. And it's one of the only ways I know to tell what's the progress of the integration of an M&A deal, for example. I don't know of any other way to do it. And so that was one case. We also have been starting to work with, and this is brand new, employee stock ownership plans, companies that have ESOPs, and they have this great need to build a culture of leadership and a culture of ownership. And we're finding all of our tools fit very well with these ESOPs and can make such a big difference in the success or the benefits that the employees and the owners of the company get.
Certainly. And Lee, our leadership is a very general term. Is there a specific size organization that is the sweet spot, or can you work with leaders and managers at any level?
We find we can work at any level, Shalom, but we're finding we're best suited to the middle market. And let's say that's from 25 million to 250 million. We can work bigger than that and smaller than that. What it really more depends on, are two things. The situation the company's in. For example, do they have an ESOP? Have they just completed a buy-side M&A deal involving a culture integration? Are they having some issues with employee turnover, so they need to get their employees more engaged? So there's a set of situations that apply to us, but also, are they coachable? Do they want to change? And that's the biggest obstacle. That's probably the biggest one we face, and it's our biggest competitor. It isn't other consultants. It's people in organizations that just say, I don't need this. I'm the CEO. I know all of this stuff. And as I said, 95% of us think we're self-aware, but the real number is 12 to 15%. And so key is, what's their situation, and are they coachable?
Well, we've certainly all seen folks on both sides of this. So, Lee, we are out of time, and I want to make sure that folks know where they can find your new book, Leading with Courage, as well as information about the Leading with Courage Academy. Lee, where can they find out a little bit more about your services?
Yeah, the book is available on Amazon, and it's available as a Kindle edition and a paperback, so they can go there and get that. You can go to our website, www.lwcacademy.com, and there's all kinds of downloads there and other information. Or you just give me a call. My direct line is 312-827-2643.
Well, Lee, we appreciate you joining us here on Get Down to Business. We'll be sure to follow your progress. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. And again, thanks for all the information. You're listening to Get Down to Business, and we'll be right back.
Don't miss